Hello everyone, Emma Power here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one I'm going to be going over some single prize decks from Scarlet and Violet. So this will be part 1 because there's plenty of decks to go over, so do bear that in mind. So the first translation that we kind of have to look at is Squirvet. So Squirvet, 60 HP common from Scarlet and Violet, has the ability Hidey Hole that says once in your turn, you may use this ability. You shuffle your hand and put it onto the bottom of your deck, just like Marnie, and then you get to draw a card. And why that's good is it just means that you can combo it with stuff like Altaria, so you can just try and guarantee a supporter that way. Also just nice for, shrinking down a massive hand size and then building it back up with something like Bibarel. So pretty cool card overall. Some additional translations to look at is a Lucario and a Miriam. So Lucario has the attack Vengeful Knuckles, does 30 damage, and if any of your fighting Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, this attack does 120 more damage. So you can effectively do 150, which is really good. It just means that you can take care of Pokemon a lot more easily. It also means you're spending less resources when you're attacking with, stuff like Lucario from Brilliant Stars. So something to bear in mind. So Vengeful Knuckles, pretty an efficient attack. There's also a Miriam that says shuffle up to 5 Pokemon cards from your discard pile into your deck, then draw 3. This is probably the best Pokemon recovery post-rotation. It's probably better than Clara in most decks as well, because as long as you don't need the Pokemon desperately, Miriam is definitely one of the better ways of recovering Pokemon. This first list is going to be a Arcanine deck from Lost Thunder. It is a modified Arcanine deck for post-rotation. It's obviously built around Zoroark. Arcanine that does 10 damage and then 150 more if you have no cards in your hand. And it's using stuff like Radiant Venusaur, as well as, stuff like Mightyena, just to give you a better time against Mew because they do resist you. Also got a thin line and Bibarel in here, a 1-2 line, because Zoroark can transform into Bibarel, so we don't have to play more than one Bidoof, but something to bear in mind, I guess. Also playing, pretty standard trainers, I would say, in what to expect. Obviously not standard post-rotation standard, but you know what I'm saying. Post-rotation trainers, yeah, pretty decent selection here. 3 Ultra Ball, 3 Level Ball, 2 Nest Ball, no battle, well, 1 Battle VIP Bass, but, not really leaning into it. I'm not sure if you really need to play just 1 Battle VIP Pass. I guess, if you're going first, then, at least suppose we won't be able to Peony that turn, but still, it's an okay list. I'm not a major fan of the trainers in this one. 2 Pokemon Catcher is a little bit sus, but you can't really boss his orders either, so yeah, it's a bit strange. Not sure I'm a fan of the trainer lineup in this one, but yeah, Arcanine seems like a pretty decent pick post-rotation. And next one, it's also going to be another Arcanine deck, but this time we've got the Altaria Squirvet package built in. Also playing a bunch of other attackers like the Slowbro to try and guarantee the last 2 prize cards, I believe, in the game, as well as the Hisuian Zoroark, I believe, which says your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out at the end of your opponent's next turn. Also got the Mightyena again, Radiant Venusaur again. This one's also playing Manaphy just to get a bit of bench protection. Also playing a heavy account of Pokemon Search, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Level Ball, 3 Battle VIP Pass, as well as 3 Capturing Aroma. So I really like this deck in terms of its trainers. I think it's way more consistent. Supporter lineup's also pretty decent because you won't be able to play a supporter every turn. So, well, you're trying not to clunk up the hand with supporters, I should say. So, yeah, pretty cool list overall. Definitely prefer this one. Should be pretty good. So this next one is going to be a Lucario Gardevoir deck. Lucario from Brilliant Stars, the one that does 10 damage and 60 more for every fighting energy card that you discard from Lucario, and you have to discard them all. Also has a nice ability that will allow you to search your deck for fighting energy attached to Lucario, but you will have to take 2 damage counters, which is pretty annoying, but does mean that we can have access to stuff like Raihan, as well as the Shiny Arcana Gardevoir to help with energy acceleration. Also, the new Lucario just hitting 150 is a really nice option because now we don't really have to worry about getting a Lucario every single turn. There will be games where we can just do, big lot of damage, then swing with 150, finish them off, and then that's just obviously way more efficient than, just swinging with Brilliant Stars Lucario every single turn. So yeah, pretty cool. Also got a Radiant Tricina in here, which is really interesting. Just allows you to heal off 20 damage. So if you've got multiple Lucario in play that are doing damage themselves, then, Radiant Tricina is definitely a good shout. As for the trainers, pretty standard stuff, really, nothing too crazy. Palpad's always nice to see. I do like Palpad. 1 Rescue Carrier just to help with recovering those smaller Pokemon, which is nice. Also see 2 Clara, 1 Miriam, sorry. So bit of a split there. Not sure you need to play both really, but Clara does get back energy as well, which is nice in this deck. So yeah, pretty cool list overall. 2 Primal Altar as well from Silver Tempest. Interesting stadium choice, but yeah, that's about it for this Lucario list. This next one's going to be a Lucario Zoroark, so if you're more of a fan of Lucario than you are of Arcanine, then this might appeal to you a bit more. It also offers the consistency of Zoroark, so you can run all these different stage 1s, like the Flapple, like the Curlia, the Mightyena, the Mask, which has free retreat, which is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely a lot of cool options in this one. I'm not sure how much I'm a fan of this deck as opposed to just straight God of War Lucario, funnily enough. I do think Zoroark has its own problems, like the fact that you need Zoras all the time and you can't have them bossed up by the opponents. So a little bit of issues like that can come in, be a bit of a problem, you know. But we do have super effective glasses in here, which is really interesting to see. Will allow you to do an infinite more damage with Lucarios against fighting weak Pokemon. So that is pretty cool. Also got the Mightyena to do like 320 to a dark Pokemon. If dark weakness Pokemon, if your opponent's active has a if your opponent has a VMAX in play, I think the wording is. So you could do like 320 theoretically, but you could do even more if you have a super effective glasses in play. So or attached to that Pokemon. So yeah, pretty cool list. Fumbling the words a bit there, but you kind of know what I'm saying here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Got stuff like 2 Path to the Peak because we're not playing any Radiance. Yeah, I kind of like this list. Still not a major fan of Zoroark. Feel a bit burnt after how inconsistent it's been on the ladder, but yeah, it seems like it's an okay list. This next one is going to be our final Lucario deck, and this one plays 4 Luxray. So Luxray from Crown Zenith, if you don't know, can start in the active spot as a basic Pokemon. Then its attack does 50 damage from colors, and you can search your deck for any 2 trainers. So it does really good for setting up. It just allows you to find stuff like energy switch as well, like more niche trainers like Azura, your one of Gloria, maybe, if you really need that at some point. So yeah, I really like this list. I think it's pretty cool. It's got some stuff in here like the Galarian Zapdos, so you can put 2 energy onto your bench with that, and then energy switch one of his energy to another Pokemon, which is cool. So yeah, I kind of like this list. Also playing 2 Raihan. Usually only see 1 Raihan in these decks, but 2 Raihan does make sense. Definitely interested to see how this one plays out. I like this list a lot. Yeah, big fan of this one. But let me know what you think about this one down below. But yeah, seems pretty cool. Then this last list is going to be a Lunatone list, because everyone loves Lunatone, especially after it plagued the ladder during Pokemon Go. Wow, it was terrible days. But it's still a pretty cool deck. It can rack up some wins. It's pretty straightforward. And if you like, you need any validation that this deck could be playable post rotation, then I guess this is it for you. So yeah, hopefully this one ends up being pretty good, and yeah, seems pretty cool to me. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down below. It's been Emma Power. There's not really much else to say at this point. There will be a part 2 going over stuff like Dondozo and Reggie's if people want to see that, which I'm sure they do. But thanks for watching. It's been Emma Power, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.